Hey, so happy hot summer day here in July 2023, Wichita, Kansas. So yeah, today I wanted to go over a net seller sheet. I had done one of these recently and I thought it would be a good thing to share. This is for all the listings that I do, and it gives you an idea of the expenses and the net profit. And then on each offer, a comparison to what the listing net profit was. So anyways, with that, let me switch it and let's go over this dollars and cents piece that we turn into. I think I'm on the wrong screen here. Again, doing the solo. Here we go. Okay, so I think here, can you see that this is the full page I wanted to go over? So here we are. When I do this, basically I'm starting off, this offer column is not here. It's just the listing column. First, of course, I'm talking to the clients, pulling in the comparables, usually the last 6 months, a little bit more so 3 months this past year, just due to the continuation of appreciation. Wanted to get them the, closest comp that there was comparable, a similar household. Just because it kept going up and up and up. So anyways, for this example, I'm using a $500,000 list price. So the next thing we look at is, what is their mortgage? What's the balance of their mortgage? We put that in line number, let's call it 9. And then, and as you can see, this talks about the seller's estimated cost. That's all these right down here. And then this next line, number 10, would be more like a home equity loan. If there's a second mortgage, we would put that in here because it'd be like, this is the price and minus all these expenses. And then third one would be just if the client knows about judgments, unpaid child support, lien, stuff like that. I usually don't ask that part. I just figured they know what they owe. But there is one that I did recently where the client wanted to pay off her car. And so to be honest, I didn't put it here. I did put it down here in the other column because I really wanted her to see, hey, you've got this net profit. What pricing of house do you really want to pay? It was cash. Going to be cash. So again, it just kind of gives her a picture. And as it changed along the way, depending on a lease back in that situation, I included that costs in here too, because I just wanted to make sure anytime she wanted to tweak the parameters, I was trying to help her follow the cost. Obviously, some people are really, really savvy. Others need a little bit more guidance. And so this really kind of lays out the dollars and cents, and it gives them more ideas of questions to ask. And what can they really, or what do they really want to purchase? In that case, it was a purchase. This is more for a listing. I get it. In that case, that was a listing and a selling client, buying client. So not to confuse you, which I probably already have at this point. Okay. Next is the title fee expenses. That is both of these lines right here. Title insurance and closing fee. These are actually both title costs. So for example, like this, I use security first, title fees. The $260 stays the same regardless of the price point. And there's other title companies here. There's Meridian, there's Kansas Secured, I believe a couple others, Alpha, I believe. So whatever it is, and they're all within not that far from each other. But to be honest, this is half of it. In the contract, on the offer contract, it states about title fees, and basically it says the buyer and seller split the fees. So this number here is actually double. But this lister, the listing person, the homeowners will be paying this portion. The buyers will also be paying this amount as well. And now sometimes with investors and stuff like that, they, in order to get the house, will pay the full thing. But we're talking typical purchase, a listing example. Now we go to the brokerage fees, which of course take up the chunk of the money when you sell a house. And the brokerage fees, 3% goes to the listing fee, and I take that off of this price up here. And then 3% goes to the buyer's brokerage fee. Does not go to the agents. This isn't going to the agents. It's going to the brokerage. So okay, that's not the cost. We'll go over this next line over in this example once an offer comes in. But right now, pretend there's nothing in this column because this is what I'm showing the seller when we're first initially talking. But this shows all the line items to them so they kind of know, hey, these are some other costs that can come up. And so that one, of course, buyers, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now on this one, because it's a $500,000 house, I did throw in $125 well inspection. In the city of Wichita, it is required to do a well inspection. So the seller must pay for that in order to transfer title at closing. Now in Derby, Goddard, and the other ones, it's not required. So in other markets, not necessarily this one, buyers can ask the seller to pay for it. Hopefully their agent knows if they're selling in all those areas, counties, to make sure to ask for that in the offer. But for now, this is what the seller will pay for. Let's pretend this is the city of Wichita. And then here's the other fees. Home inspection, that really falls on the buyer. Consequent repairs, we don't know at this point, like what repairs and that what we're going to negotiate down the road after the buyer does the inspection. Most likely not as much during this past year and two, with it being a complete seller's dominant market. Termite treatment. Okay, this just changed recently. Termite treatment, but when the buyers do an inspection, if there was termites, that did fall on the responsibility of the seller. It has changed. The contract has changed so many months ago, I don't know, 4-ish months ago, to where now it's a negotiation. It doesn't mean seller has to do it. The buyers, if they get the treatment, if it is positive for termites, they have to ask for that. It's not just a given like it used to be in the past. Radon remediation, that's if the clients, the buyers do a radon inspection and it comes over 4.0, which I just had that happen this week. So my buyers are asking for that. Home warranty, that's if they ask for a lot of currently offers have not been asking for a warranty because it's hard to get a house in a multiple house situation. And I got to check something here. Okay, I just wanted to, okay. Again, it's a little difficult when I'm doing the tech part of this and the speaking part. So, okay, where were we? Radon, the home warranty plan. Like I said, we're not being asked to do that unless the house is on the market a little bit. Then they might ask for a home warranty plan. And taxes will be in all of them because, of course, the seller will be responsible up until closing date. The taxes, and I just threw a number, and we don't know. When I'm working with somebody, I'll put an estimated closing date based on averages, and I will put an exact number based on their taxes. And this is interesting because we've got that paid in arrears. Like if it's like January, no, let's say April 10th. Not only are you paying January 1st to April 10th, you're paying the second half of last year's. That's a longer conversation, gets quite complex. So just know that I know what number to put in here, and you do pay taxes up until closing date. So that, and then I might put some other information there. This I realized was not the most current. There are some newer net sellers just came out from the MLS board, and there's some notes down here. I don't know why it's pulling this one, but anyway, so I'll put some notes down there. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because, okay, let's say we're on the market now, we get our first offer. I won't even go into if there's multiple offers. Obviously, I do many other pages of this, but let's just say we got one offer in this case, or if there's more, I still make copies of this and I write all the offers out. So let's say they offered $475 on this house. And then so this number gets changed. I just look at the security in this case, security first title fees, or whatever fees with whatever company the buyer has asked for. It does fall on the buyer. The buyer gets to choose what title company they use. And then 260, again, that just stays the same regardless of what this number is. And then the commissions go down. If we're looking at the 3% for the listing brokerage, 3%, that goes down since this offer is lower than the list price. The well inspection still stays the same, and if we're closing the same date, that would still stay the same. Now, some things with this new notes section, let's just pretend this is the notes section. I will spell out for the listing agent, like whether it's a conventional loan, maybe at the closing date, I'll put over here. I'll say that they asked for a refrigerator. I will say, just any other variables that might come into play with the seller making their decision. Let's say if it's a really close offer with another one. But this just helps keep it all on one page when we're looking at and here you're seeing the final net profit. The reason it jumped down a little bit was because they are asking for Oh, I forgot that's part. Sorry, I forgot the $5,000. They are asking for $5 in closing costs. So okay, all the other stuff's the same. I did forget to mention that. Sorry. Um, so that's why it kind of jumps down a little bit here. They're asking for the seller to pay $5,000 in closing costs. They're asking for the refrigerator. They are conventional, but if it's FHA or VA, I'd put that here too. And the closing date, is it like, right away? Like if it's cash, is it right away? Or is it a 30-day close? Just stuff like that. Or if they needed a lease back, whatever the variables of that particular buyer, what they need, I kind of try to throw it on here just because it's a quick one-shot snapshot. Dollars and cents, of course, sellers most likely are concerned about this number down here. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Let me get back here. If you're wanting me to put together one for your particular house, or if you have any more questions on it, want me to expand on any of those details, give me a holler. And thanks for watching.